Well, welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey, with a little bit of new to me thrifted yarn to talk about today, and whatever else tickles our fancy. So glad you're here today. Yay! Okay, so my mother stopped in at one of her more favorite thrift stores and came out with about $10 worth of yarn. All of this. Can you believe this? So let's dig in and take a look at what prizes are in here. Okay, this bag was about $2.50. We've got this. No idea what kind this is. This is obviously an acrylic. It is a thick 4, I believe. It's a silvery yarn. Silvery, yeah, it is a yarn. A silvery gray. It's got a nice sheen to it. In my picture, it turned out kind of brownish, but it is actually quite silver. It's got a thicker feel. It's quite soft. And I can see why they put it with the Bernat satin, which I have one of these already, so now I have 2 of these blue. Really like this blue. This one is boom, boom, boom. 100% acrylic, 3.5 ounces, or 100 grams, 166 yards, or 152 meters. Worsted weight. You take a 5mm knitting needle or 5mm crochet hook. Machine washable and dryable. And as I said, I've used satin before and I really enjoyed it. I found it to be quite nice. Just be very careful that if you're using a smaller hook, there is a chance it might split, because I did use 3.5 or 4, I can't remember. But it was a little splitty with the smaller hook, and yeah. So I'm pretty happy with these 2 colors. What can I make with those? Oh, and this bag was roughly about $2.50, so $2.50 for these lovely balls of yarn. Really good deal. Now this is one of the more expensive ones. It was about $3.50 for this bag. Now this and this are the same. They have a bit more of a coarser feel. So I'm kind of leaning towards that these actually might be wool, these ones. I'd say about a 4. See a little bit of animal hair. So I'm thinking this is definitely a some sort of animal fiber, because these are actually worked in. These hairs that I'm seeing, they're not, you know, somebody's pet got too close. These are actually part of the yarn here. We got some beautiful blues. I love the blues with the purples. I really like the color mixture. So I got some ideas on something I might want to make with that. One boucle in a lavender purple. I'm sadly lacking in the lavender, so this will go nice with my boucle collection, which I'm collecting a few more before I start thinking about what I want to do. I do have a grayish purple that this would go really killer with, but I don't have a lot, so this would make an excellent trim. Maybe a neckline to a nice warm sweater, maybe. A gorgeous blue, sort of a periwinkle. I'm thinking this is a light 3. It seems a bit thinner. It's definitely an acrylic. And it feels like an acrylic. It's a beautiful blue. I like this blue a lot. It's one of my more favorite ones. And this one, I believe, I actually already have some. Now this is more of a sport weight. Very thin. Very thin. But this is definitely wool, this one. And I believe I already have some that I recently spun up. So that's pretty cool. But these ones I'm feeling I'm on the fence on this one. This one might have some wool in it. This one definitely is, and these ones are, so these will have to stay in their bags. And like I said, this whole bag was $3.50. Okay, some people would assume this is a very boring one. I'm quite excited by this color palette. It's really nice together, actually. I like this green. That is really nice green. And this gray. This is a gray. And I absolutely love this gray. It's kind of a darker gray. Now this is a lightweight. It looks almost like it is really like double spun. I'm not 100% sure. This feels very acrylic. This one definitely has an acrylic feel to it. Hard to say what it is, but I'm quite intrigued by the color, so we're gonna cake that up fairly soon. Just gonna tuck that in before it becomes a tangled mess in the bag. But this bag here for these was about $2.50. This again, I believe, is the wool. Same as the light blue. I just have this feeling, but it could be acrylic. This one's a tough one here. It feels really smooth, but I do have some wool that are very similarly skeined up, and they feel very, very similar. Gorgeous royal purple. Like I'm going to go wrong with royal purple. Never. And this one is a thicker in this gorgeous army green. And yes, this is a color I really like. It's very earthy. Goes good with beige and gray. Got some gold fleck in there. Just really look at those colors. I really like how the lighter green, this huntery green, pine type green, just interacts with these two other mottled green there. So they've used about 3 or 4 colors and really bound them together really well. I'm quite happy with this. This is a good size ball. It's very soft, very cushy. It's got a nice soft cush to it. And my mind's already thinking about what I could possibly throw this in, because I'm thinking these would definitely make some really nice granny squares. This one I'm trying to decide if it's wool, it's getting put in a different pile. I don't want the acrylics and the wool together because washing. I have a couple blankets that somebody put wool in, and the wool itself is disintegrating where the acrylic is fine. That's not cool. So this bag here, $2.50. Awesome deal. Okay, this is one of the more expensive ones. I believe this one was $3.52, so it was like roughly about $10, she said, was what it came out to. They gave her a bit of a deal because she brought a few bags. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. We got a couple different types of white and some fluff. I'm going to put that back in the bag. Get that out of here. So this one, I know everybody's looking at this vintage one going, vintage. This is a very, very lightweight one. So I already have a good idea of who I want you to be mixed with. Just going to wrap that around because I find these ones especially. This is definitely acrylic. Very soft. Very fine looking. And these don't smell bad at all. They don't smell like animal or smoke or anything like that. They just look like, oh, they just decided that, you know what, I'm never going to use these. That's just a little speck of something. Not a bug. I'm always looking for those when I open these up because, yeah. Really nice. Really nice. Good cush to it. This one's going to be fun to work with. And it seems like it's a pretty good size skein. There seems to be quite a bit on there. Good size. This one looks like it was caked up. So they're not quite the same. Slightly different whites. This one's a bit thicker. This one feels really familiar to me. I'm sure I've worked with this kind before. Maybe not this color per se, but I'm pretty sure I have felt this yarn before. It is soft. It's got a good weight to it, so it's going to go into my scraps because I do want to make some scrappy cakes to do up some very interesting pieces. I'm just going to let them flow through like my own coloring and blah blah blah, and mix up a lot of these smaller balls that I don't have a lot of use for, but these will definitely come in use. I need white a lot for amigurumis especially. This one I was intrigued with because it is actually, it's got a crunchy feel to it. feels like a bit of a crunch. And it's already caked. And this doesn't look like a homemade cake. This looks like an actual cake. It's acrylic. But it's a little bit of a rougher acrylic. Like I can feel that in my fingers, like it's grabbing at my dried out fingers. Interesting. Or maybe somebody did cake it up, but it definitely has a bit of a crunch. That's the best word I can think of, is just crunch. I feel it crunch when I squish it. But I like it. That's a good white. It's quite a bit brighter than this mellow spun Mary Maxim 4-ply sport yarn. Gotta love it when they still have their tag on. Now this is an older yarn. It has the feel of the 80s to it. It feels so 80s. It has that, I'd have to look it up to be sure, but it definitely has that bit of roughness that I remember when I first started working with yarns. Let's see. 100% Orland Wind Tuck acrylic, so it's all acrylic. 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. Machine washable and dryer, moth proof, color fast, non-allergenic. Made in the USA. Please purchase sufficient yarn of same dye lot to complete your garment. DuPont regular, oh, it's DuPont. Okay, well, see if we can find a year on here, because sometimes they'll put a year. And washing instructions. Use warm water with cold water, shampoo, or any other mild soap. Always machine dry after machine washing at low temperature. Remove garment right after drying. Hand washing. Use warm water with cold water, shampoo, or any other mild soap. Rinse well in cold water. Roll in towel to remove excessive water. Dry on flat surface. Do not stretch, hang, mold to shape, and allow to dry thoroughly. We do not recommend that synthetic yarns be dry cleaned, as high temperatures may cause damage to the fibers. Do not bleach, do not hang to dry, do not press, machine dry, do not dry clean. Mary Maxim Incorporated, Port Huron, Michigan, USA, Paris, Ontario, Canada. So that's everything about that. Doesn't tell me how long this is and how much should be in there, but that is some fun yarn. Mellow spun. I know they don't have this because I was on their website recently. They definitely do not have that. Okay, so this bag full of whites of different varying sizes, textures, and everything. $3.50, including a retro. Yay! Okay, so during my wonderful, great yarn migration, I misplaced this bag that she got me a couple weeks ago. I think she paid about $4 for this one. This is Karen Simply Soft, and somebody was using this, and this is what they threw in a bag and passed on. I do have this color. This is kind of an off-white champagne-y color is what I would describe it as. Definitely has got a champagne yellow vibe to it, where I would not call this white. Oh, did not realize there's another little tiny one in here. Awesome. I don't use Simply Soft too often, so let's read the stats. I do have a beautiful lime green that I absolutely love. I think that's the green in this picture here. Love that green. It's so beautiful. So this is off-white. Made in USA. No dye lot. Medium 4. 5mm knitting. 5 for crochet. Machine washable and dryable. 100% acrylic. 6 ounces. 170.1 grams. Ooh, got a point in there. 3.15 yards or 288 meters. I'm sure that's not the amount that's there, but that's okay. Karen Simply Soft. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I find it's It can get a little splitty if you go too fast or use the wrong size hook, but it is very, very shiny. So if you want something with a bit of a shine to it, like look at that shine. I'm not even doing anything special to it, I'm just holding it and it shimmers. So for certain things, that is absolutely phenomenal. Can't go wrong. And I'm just gonna ball this back up, put it away. So about $4 for one of these. And I believe there's not a lot missing. I don't think there's a lot missing from this ball or this particular skein. I think they used a little tiny bit. This is probably gonna have to get cut off. That's looking pretty rough. We could always just spin it back around, I guess. And yeah, doesn't smell. It'll cake up nice and easy. And I will be able to definitely use this ball of yarn. I'm already thinking about getting a few other colors and doing something interesting with the Simply Soft because it is a unique one, so I don't want to mix it with a more dull, less shiny options, but this is definitely a color I would definitely pick out as my neutral to pull out, like say a blue, the greens, maybe a brown, maybe some black. Who knows? The world is my oyster when it comes to colors. Anyways, really glad you were here to check out my new To Me yarns. Super excited to be adding to my collection, and let's find out what we can make with those. See you again soon. Bye!